But Conte's come into the picture. You know, really, the lad's been in and out the side, and I think he's been brought in to match up in midfield. You know, you're going to have Conte, you're going to have Sousa, Delivio, Deschamps to match the numbers in midfield. But at the same time, they're going to keep pouring forward, as you would do. I mean, the thing about those three Juventus front players is they need service. They need the ball coming up to, then they'll get on with the job. So I'm looking forward to what ought to be, Peter, a real good game today.
Vialli is very much the man in form. His hat-trick, of course, against Torino in the Turin derby last weekend. The delight, I'm sure, of Marcello Lippi. And it's going to be obviously a big day for Vialli against his former club too.
Yeah, well, he's coming. I mean, stories are that at some time in the future, when perhaps he's coming towards the end of his career, he'd perhaps like to go back and play again in Genoa with Sampdoria. But he's still got a lot to offer. I mean, not only for Juventus, but perhaps in future in the national team.
Lombardo, we got a glimpse of there on the bench. He's, of course, had to fight back from a broken leg sustained pre-season. We may well see him featuring later on this afternoon. But what about Lombardo? How do you think he's going to fit into this team? Delivio, presumably, would be the man to stand down. But he himself has been playing well.
Well, Juventus bought 3 players from Sampdoria in the summer. I mean, they bought Lombardo, Vjekovic, the centre-back, and Jugovic, the midfield player. And obviously, he had an outstanding couple of years, Lombardo. I don't think anyone could understand. He was playing so well for Sampdoria. Everybody thought he should be in the national team. And yet, Sarchi wouldn't pick him. But he's an outstanding right-sided player.
So off we go then. Sampdoria attacking the goal to our left in the blue strip. Juventus, of course, in the famous stripes. It's Mihajlovic with the back header. Now he's going to operate at the back this afternoon. Played more or less as a central defender last week in their away success against Bari. And with so many injuries and suspensions to contend with at the moment, Sven-Göran Eriksson has kept him in that defensive role. Paulo Sousa with the pass. Here's Conte. Although he doesn't often feature in the Serie A team, Conte, he has played half of their games in all competitions this season, so he's been a regular in the cups. Here's Invonizzi for Sampdoria. Cross it was towards Karambeu from Pesaresi. Very exciting player, Karambeu. Scored twice when we saw them against Parma back in September, but he hasn't scored since. Man who was signed from Nantes, the French champion, so he could have played in the Champions League, but he said, I'm prepared to give that up for the prospect of playing in Italy.
Yeah, they put a good attack together there, Sampdoria. Mainly through Vialli's bad layoff. I mean, the ball was knocked up to Vialli, and he laid it off without any care and attention. And they hit them on the break quite quickly, Sampdoria.
Ferrara. Pesaresi, who was keeping out Sacchetti earlier in the season, but now they're both in the team. But that really because of injuries. Manini among the absentees from that defensive unit. This is Pesaresi. Came from Ancona back in the summer. Mihajlovic linking with Invonizzi. This is Chiesa. Outmaneuvered though by Delivio, who's probably in the best form of his career, really. So he's going to take some displacing by Lombardo, who of course is far from being fully fit. They're just edging him back into contention, really, Lombardo. Came on for the last part of the game in midweek in Europe against Stauer. Run by Conte. Offside against Chiesa. Enrico Chiesa, 24 now. He had injury problems earlier in the season, but it was a stunning hat-trick he scored last week against Bari.
I saw headlines by the coach of Sampdoria, Eriksson, saying that he thought that Chiesa had got as much dribbling ability as players like Savicevic at Milan and Zola at Parma. I mean, if we see a little bit of that today, Peter, that will do.
Yes, that's some accolade, isn't it? Here's Ravanelli. Playing again with such belligerence this season up front, Ravanelli. He's got 12 goals already in all competitions, including those for his country. Fouled then by another old stager, Riccardo Ferri, the former Inter defender. Del Piero with the free kick then for Juve. Paulo Sousa just making that darting run, hoping to open up some room. Karambur with a partial clearance. Away comes Evani. On by Bellucci. And a strong tackle coming in from Torricelli. Valeria away down that right side. Swift counter-attack then launched by Sampdoria. Torricelli. Seems to be an automatic choice in the team again now, Torricelli. And once again, he's having a fine season for Juventus, who are, of course, so strong defensively.
And also, Peter, it started off at a cracking pace. I mean, we see this quite often now in Italian football. The opening 20 minutes. I mean, it matches up really to our game here in the Premiership. I mean, they do go at each other, and you know, I mean, there's a lot of closing down, a lot of pressing when they lose the ball. As soon as they win the ball, they're on the break, they're going forward with it. I mean, it's a super opening.
It's Chiesa being stretched off here. I'm sure he'll make a prompt return. He's been in such lively form, has Chiesa. He actually made his debut for Sampdoria alongside Vialli a few seasons back, when Vialli was still in Genoa. Mihailovic to drive it forward now. When his father was Carrera. Deschamps hustled out of his stride. Pezzaresi. Is Invonizzi, wearing the captain's armband today in the absence of Mancini. Sacchetti. On by Ravanelli, but only as far as Belleri. Here's Belleri again. He does give them good balance down that right side, plenty of pace, which has compensated in a way for the loss of Lombardo, but he won't be able to show any pace for a moment. Torricelli is though. Del Piero. That was Sacchetti in very strongly. Such determination then from the Sampdoria defender. Evani, now approaching his 33rd birthday. 16 years, of course, with Milan. So Lippi Scudetto for a while, having eased their way through their European Champions League group. Comfortable winners to progress to the quarter-finals. Chiesa now back on, incidentally, for Sampdoria. So they're back to full strength.
And obviously, Peter, when you play at this pace, you are going to make passing mistakes. I mean, it's impossible to keep going at 100 miles an hour and expect the passing to be that good. I mean, you'll get the occasional up 1-2s and little give and goes, but every now and again when it counts, because of the pace they're playing at, there's this stray pass that really lets the opposition come into the game.
Throw that to Juventus. They've taken only 2 points away since that success against Piacenza back at the start of the campaign. And they've actually only won 3 of the last 9 now in Serie A. So maybe the Champions League has been a distraction for them. And of course they were knocked out of the Italian Cup by Atalanta. Invonizzi with Karambur. Here's Torricelli. Good interception by Belleri, former Parma and Padova player. Karambur. Italy's number 1, Peruzzi, bowling it out to Delivio. Here's Paulo Sousa. Curious attempt then by Ravanelli.
Well, that's exactly what I said. I mean, the pass was hurried, mainly because they're closed down. There's no time on the ball. There's not much space around. It's difficult to put too many passes. If you can put passes together in this situation, it's very, very difficult.
Ivani. And the ball shepherded out by Ferrara, which gives me time to tell you of the first goal of the day. And it's been scored by Cremonese at home to Bari this afternoon. Birovsky own goal to give Cremonese the lead. Cremonese 1, Bari 0. Bit of a relegation battle, that one. Cremonese in 17th place. Bari just one spot above them. Valeri's header. It goes Ferri. On by Paulo Sousa for Juve to Ravanelli. Now Delivio. Now, of course, in the picture in the Italian national squad, Delivio, though he hasn't played in the last two because of injury. Invonizzi's pass. On by Bellucci, and Chiesa couldn't control it. Paulo Sousa, the Portuguese international. Now Torricelli. Sampdoria with just 3 wins in Serie A so far this season, or rather 4. They've lost 3 and drawn 5, so their progress has been a little erratic, but certainly better in the last 2 or 3 games. That's Ferrara with a long ball for Ravanelli. Good covering by Sacchetti, and alert goalkeeping too from Pagotto, who's the Italian under-21 goalkeeper. Coming in, of course, for the injured Walter Zenga, who I gather will be available again in about 6 weeks or so after his injury pre-season. Mihailovic. Kept in, no, it wasn't by Pesaresi.
Peter, when you get this crowded midfield as we are in this match, and it is going very, very quickly, it's important that your back players get hold of the ball and use the ball well. They've got the time, they've got the space. If they use the ball well, then you can put a good attack together.
Well, that was an important tackle then from Ferrara, which sent Karambeu sliding to the ground, and in fact the referee says it's a free kick. Let's see if he played the ball there. No, he didn't. So the referee, Bongi, was absolutely right. Karambeu, who's very quick and very alive to possibilities. Mihailovic, on that favoured left foot of his, will swing this one over. Even Vialli has come back to defend. Vialli, who epitomises the character of this Juve team. Here is Mihailovic. Dangerous ball in too. And really, it was a chance for Chiesa in the middle. Just couldn't stretch to head it. But the marking was rather casual then from Juve. And I think when Chiesa looks back on that one, it'll be with much disappointment.
Yeah.
Peter, time on Ravanelli.
Mihailovic, I mean, he's been now at Sampdoria, this is his 2nd season, and he plays left back. I mean, that's his position. They've readjusted him, he's virtually now sweeper, but he has got this wonderful left foot on dead ball situations. Obviously for service, as he did then, and also on anything around the D. Very dangerous.
It's given away then by Karambeu. Here's Deschamps to Ravanelli. Juventus will certainly be going for the win today in their hopes of catching Milan up at the top. They won't want them to get too far away at this stage. Delivio will take this corner then for Juventus. Del Piero in the 6-yard box. Ferrara has come up from the back. Paulo Sousa struggling to reach the ball ahead of Chiesa. Play on, says the referee. Karambeu leading now the charge on the counter-attack. But he's overhit his pass in search of Invonizzi.
Yeah, a real tussle there on the edge of the box, but the referee was in control of this. He was right on the spot, and he let it go. He could see Sampdoria were going to come out with the ball.
Ferrara. In goes Vialli with Mihailovic. Vialli, who had, of course, 12 seasons with Sampdoria. Now on 119 goals in Serie A. That's put him up alongside Roberto Baggio among current players. His hat-trick against Torino was the first ever by a Juve player in the Turin derby. Del Piero.
Yeah, to try and get the balance right, Juventus, they play Ravanelli and Vialli up front. But obviously he pushes Del Piero onto that left flank. And all right, he does okay, but really he wants to be in the thick of things. He'd like to be up the middle.
Invernizzi. Now Pesaresi.
It's very difficult to play, for the sake of it, three strikers in a front line. I mean, you've got to adjust it in some way. And obviously Del Piero is the player here. He's a young lad anyway. He'll go out on that left flank and let Ravanelli and Vialli get on with it up the front.
Nothing on there though for Ravanelli. Being policed by Riccardo Ferri, who's back in favour now. He didn't start the season as a first choice, but he seems to be an automatic one now, and he's been playing as well as anybody in this Sampdoria team, as indeed was the case in the last campaign. Free kick to Sampdoria. Karambur proving early on quite a source of irritation to Juventus. Very quick, very lively. Belleri. Another theatrical dive to the ground. The referee's blown for the foul anyway. For the tap on Belleri. It didn't look much more than that. Dave Shop, I think, was the offender.
Actually, the referee at the moment, he's quite patient with them. I mean, he hasn't got his yellow cards out yet. But I think he's warning them. I think he's saying, look, you know, it's an early part of the game, and I'm trying to show a little bit of understanding, but don't push me too far.
Ivani will take the free kick. Now Ferri. Wasted though. Here's Paulo Sousa, sweeping it forward, but he won't find Vialli that way. Vialli, who has now 7 goals in Serie A this season after his 3 in the Turin derby, and those were his first goals for over 2 months. Ivani was almost through then, linking with Chiesa. Karambur battling back for Sampdoria, working very, very hard. That's Ferri to Karambur. He's surely handled that. Yes, the linesman is flagging. Got a bit too carried away then, Karambur. Who comes from Lifu in New Caledonia.
He's got the freedom to move around. He's popping up all over the pitch. You know, he just comes off a little bit, then he goes wide. He'll go anywhere where he can find space.
As Eriksson was saying at the start of the season, he wants him to get forward as often as he can. Doesn't feel he scores enough goals. Del Piero, confronted by Ivani. Throw to Marcello Lippi's team. Vialli. But he was such a hero in Genoa with the Sampdoria fans. Had a bit of a traumatic time when he first went to Juventus, but of course last season he was absolutely outstanding. Italy's Player of the Year. On by Karambur. Ferrara jumping high. This is Del Piero. And Bellucci has been penalised. Bellucci, you may recall, he was the man who scored twice against Arsenal in the European Winners' Cup semi-final last season. Sacchetti doing well then to outwit Ravanelli, and then a foul by Ferrara on Invernizzi. Just a little nick then from Ferrara, who does of course mark so tightly. Carrera in a spot of bother now, faced by Chiesa. Here's Delivio. Drifting away from Karamba. Deschamps smoothly on to Vialli. Paulo Sousa. Juve looking to up a gear or two, but they can't do so now. They have to scurry back. Here's Belleri on the break. Torricelli, though, as solid as ever for Juve. Paulo Sousa. In goes Ivani with Deschamps. And the decision going Sampdoria's way.
Well, the pace keeps going, and players perhaps are going a little bit too quick, throwing themselves in on what I would call silly tackles half the time. There's no way they're going to get the ball.
Del Piero. Ferrara coming forward without reward, but now it's Del Piero again. Across towards Vialli, and well claimed by Pagotto, who has done a fine job since replacing Zenga. Says he loves the big games, can rise to the occasion. Well, he's doing so already this afternoon, and there aren't many bigger games than against Juventus. Vialli, Delivio, now Conte. Back into the league side today then, Conte. Offside in Juve's favour, and that's the cue to give you a couple of other goals that have been scored so far this afternoon. Fiorentina have taken the lead against Udinese. That's Baiano. And Padova are up against Inter. Padova the home side there. Vlahovic. So it's Padova 1, Inter 0. Also goes for Fiorentina, and earlier for Cremonese at home to Bari. Mihailovic looking very composed at the back. Now clearing with his right foot, which is fairly unusual. But only straight to Carrera. Torricelli. Bellucci trying to close it down. It was a fine pass to release Del Piero. Could be danger for Sampdoria here. But no, Belleri was equal to the task.
Got to be extra clever there, Del Piero, and he was stuck against that goal line. No space to move in.
20 minutes gone on. It's being played at a quick pace.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit like last week with Lazio and Milan, which set off at the same cracking velocity, but then rather slowed down a bit.
Well, what happens, Peter, it all becomes one touch. And most of the one-touch football, because there's no time and space, you know, it gets offline. You'll put two or three passes together, and then all of a sudden they'll come the wrong pass, the pass that really you're giving the ball away.
Meantime, Bari have now equalised away to Cremonese, and it's the Swedish international Kenneth Anderson who has scored for them. Cremonese 1, Bari 1. Free kick taken quickly by Ferrara to Delivio. Off Sacchetti. Delivio. Carrera, who seems to be a first choice for Juve again now. Played the last half dozen or so. Del Piero. This is Torricelli. Now Karamba. Belleri. Rather congested in there. Karamba racing through, but Carrera standing firm. And time here for Mihailovic. Helped out by Pagotto. Paulo Sousa. Chipping through to Conte. But stepping out of defence was Mihailovic. Now in Vonizi. Pesaresi. Again, those Juve defenders pushing so far forward to catch Sampdoria offside again.
Yeah, and obviously they then, when they get the ball, Sampdoria, they're sticking it in the space. But if the run's too early and it's not got any timing, then they do go offside. But if they can get that run right, if they can go on that flat run, then they can get in behind this Juventus defence.
Vialli to Paulo Sousa. That was Vialli hearing through the middle. But Pagotto was alive to the danger, also Mihailovic and Ferry.
Yeah, there was a little glancing blow there from Ferry. Now, one or two referees might have seen that as obstruction.
Valeri. Now Mihailovic. Roma have now taken the lead. They're at home to Vicenza, and that's an own goal by the Swedish defender Bjorklund. Roma 1, Vicenza 0. Roma down in 10th place at the moment, not having the best of seasons, but hoping to pick up their fortunes from here on. Ivani. Closed down by Delivio. A lot of hustle and bustle, Dom, but not too much finesse so far.
I just think at times that the midfield players, if they wanted to slow things down and get some composure into the game, the midfield players would have laid back to the back players. Knock it back to the sweeper, knock it back to those centre-backs. They've got that little bit more time and space. But then play it forward.
Certainly been a frenetic game so far in this claustrophobic atmosphere in the Luigi Ferrara Stadium, or the Marassi Stadium as it's also known. Torricelli. Del Piero away to his left. Torricelli with a shot. He's taken a deflection. Conte was hovering in the middle, but no problem there for Pagotto. He's kept 2 clean sheets in his last 2 home games now, Pagotto. And as I was saying, the number 1 for the under-21s, who of course are hoping to win the European title for the 3rd time in a row. Nick Eriksson's been pleased with his acquisition, his new goalkeeper. It was certainly a blow to lose such an experienced keeper as Walter Zenga, but he's found a very able deputy in Pagotto. This is Invernizzi. Now Pesaresi. That's off Delivio for throw to Sampdoria. Paulo Sousa to Conte. Pumped by Conte. The flag's up against Karambur. They're not really reading this offside trap so far, Sampdoria. Paulo Sousa threading it on to Ravanelli. Now Vialli. No goals here, but there's been another one in Cremona. Cremonese now 2-1 up against Bari. Walco with the second goal. Ravanelli to Delivio. It's not a bad ball in. It certainly had Pagotto at full stretch. Then Deschamps.
I don't know what young Pagotto was doing there, Peter. I mean, the ball's been knocked into the back post. And he's reaching for it, and he kind of virtually... It was a low punch, I suppose, out to the edge of the box. I mean, he's either got to get hold of that or he's got to get it out wide. You know, a young goalkeeper, what he never does, he's knocked the ball down within the scoring area, within the central part of the box. You get it wide.
And the shot was certainly wide from Didier Deschamps, the French international who hasn't scored in Serie A this season. He actually made his full debut against Sampdoria when he returned after long-term injury in the last campaign. It's all rather untidy so far, but here's Torricelli for Juventus. Now Vialli, Torricelli again. Invernizzi with Ivani. They also have Salsano out through injury at the moment with a broken draw, in fact. Karambur on for Chiesa and Pesaresi. And this time I don't think there was a flag, was there? Yes, the flag was up for offside.
Well, it was a good attack, Peter. I mean, it really was. I mean, they cut the Juventus defence open. But Pesaresi on this left flank had gone a little bit too early. And the ball that put him in, he was offside. There's a lovely combination between Karambur and Chiesa.
And in fact, there was no offside decision, so the line was overruled. if his flag was up. It was just a goal kick, and that will have to go down as a squandered opportunity by Pesaresi, who hasn't yet scored for Sampdoria since his arrival from Ancona back in the summer. Di Livio away from Invernizzi. Cross has found Paulo Sousa, then driven off the legs of Sacchetti to Di Livio again, and that'll be the keeper's ball.
Di Livio made good possession there, and a nice attack down the right. Just couldn't deliver, could he? Just couldn't get the ball or get his cross into the right position, into the right place in the box.
Di Livio, Ravanelli in tandem with Vialli. They've got such a good understanding between the two. It's Chiesa. There's a bad tackle then by Ferrara. That surely will be a caution for him. Indeed, the yellow card being brandished by referee Boggi, and rightly so.
Yes, it had to come. I mean, the referee's let a few tackles go, and some flying tackles like that one. But sooner or later, the yellow card had to come out.
Well, for my money, he's just about the best defender in the Italian game, but he was certainly out of order with that tackle. And he will now be facing a suspension, Ferrara. Now, of course, re-established in the Italian national team, Ferrara. It's Mihailovic, and for once, a poor free kick by him. Di Livio. Valeri. Sampdoria in all had 9 new signings for this season, bringing down the average age to around 23. And the team that's out today is even younger than that in terms of an average age. It's Valeri getting involved in this dispute here with Torricelli. Monty trying to calm it all down.
Yeah, well, what Torricelli is saying, he's saying he took a dive, Valeri. You know, it wasn't as bad as what it was made to look.
I certainly felt that was the case earlier on when Valeri dived to the ground. Ivani with the free kick, dealt with by Vialli. Here's Ferri. Sacchetti. Karambur in pursuit. It goes Ivani. Now Sacchetti. Paulo Sousa. Harassed by Chiesa. And Torricelli. And he's given it away. Karambur. Bellucci, that's a fine through ball, and it had Peruzzi racing out of his goal to thwart the danger.
Yeah, that's first-class goalkeeping. You know, if your defence are going to push up and play offside, you need your goalkeeper to sweep around the back, just in case they get it wrong.
Played off by Chiesa to Invernizzi. Now Valeri. He crosses a deeper one this time, but easily claimed, and confidently so too, by Angelo Peruzzi, who played his 150th Serie A game against Torino in the derby. And Torino have just taken the lead against Piacenza, right on cue there. And it's a penalty from Rizzatelli. Meantime, another problem for Juventus and for Del Piero, who's been tumbled. Valeri, the offender, has just sliced his legs away then.
I mean, Valeri was miles away from that tackle. I mean, there was no way he was going to reach that ball. I mean, it was a kind of a semi-slide tackle. But, I mean, he must have been, what, a couple of yards away. No way his legs were going to get there. And the referee he's done exactly the right thing. I mean, it's what it is. It's the pace of the game. It gets players doing rash things. You know, they're quick with the ball. It makes them quick with the decisions they're going to make on whether to tackle or not to tackle. Obviously, it pushes them into things that really they shouldn't be doing. They shouldn't be making that challenge.
A yellow card for Belleri, and he is now heading for suspension as well. Del Piero will take this free kick, looking for the height in there of Ferrara and Carrera, who've both come up from the back. It's a lower one though, and Pagotto holding on cleanly. There's Betica in the hat, which you know all about, Don. What about that hat? Was that the old Juve star?
About James Richardson's jumper, Peter.
James's jumper was unbelievable, wasn't it?
You keep on about my hat. I think it was his Horse of the Year show jumper.
Karamba. Torricelli. Cavani. And the nice thing, Don, about taking the Michael out of James's jersey is that he can't answer back at the moment.
No, and I'm sure he will, knowing James.
And what about you for the England game? You're going to have a new hat, I would think, for this one, aren't you? The weather getting colder?
Well, it's getting colder, Peter, and obviously...
Balaclava, someone's suggesting.
Yes, yeah. Something to try and keep the brain box warm.
Torricelli with the free kick. Just too long for Vialli. Karamba now. I think we can safely say at this stage, 10 minutes to half-time, defences remain on top. That's Ferry away for Sampdoria. Now Karamba. Vialli. Laid off then by Deschamps to Torricelli. Now Paulo Sousa on for Ferrara. Strongly away from Invernizzi. Ferrara with the shot. He's scored in the last two Serie A games now, including one in the Turin derby. Paulo Sousa. Delivio. Neither side dominating the game in any way. And not really enough sharpness in the final third of the field. See what Deschamps can do here. On for Vialli. Del Piero now. Couldn't get away though from Belleri. And he's striding out with great purpose. Chiesa. Offside. Look how far they've pushed up again, those Juve defenders. Well, the linesman's coming for a lot of stick over there, but I don't think he's been wrong so far.
No, he's doing what he's got to do. He's putting his flag in the air and letting the referee then make the decision. It would be interesting if we'd have took account on how many times the ball has changed hands. I don't think I've seen two Italian teams give the ball away so often.
This is very untypical so far. A free kick given to Juve for the offence on Ravanelli. Such a passionate player and a demonstrative one. I don't think it was quite as bad as it looked.
No. Well, I mean, he's a big man. I mean, there's no way a defender's going to get anywhere near that ball if he doesn't want to let them. But he does like a touch of the theatricals every now and again, and he does make a little bit more out of it than what's in it.
So here then is an opportunity for Juventus. Del Piero is there, and Vialli. Touched off by Del Piero to Vialli. But straight into the wall, and it ricochets away to Belleri. Getting the better of Torricelli. Del Piero. Now Paulo Sousa. That's Conte. Invernizzi. Sampdoria relying mainly on the break. Bellucci. Now Mihailovic. This is Sacchetti. Pesaresi. Now Invonizzi trying to cross it in, but he comes back off the body of Carrera, and now Delivio. Conte. That's a foul by Ivani.
Peter, they are flying at each other. I mean, I think we all believe in pressing these days. It's part of the modern game. But I mean, they're flying in. I mean, straight away on each other to a point that it's a little bit lax control.
Karambur. Away from Carrera. Still Karambur. He's through here. Can he finish it now? Oh, he's laid it off, but beyond Chiesa. It was clean through then, Karambur. And well, if he felt he couldn't score himself, he surely should have laid it into the path of Chiesa. But he's not on the same wavelength here.
Yeah, well, I think first of all he was going to try and stick it in the goalkeeper's left-hand corner, off his right foot in that corner. And Peruzzi does well. He just spreads himself a little bit. And then at the corner of his eye, he could see Chiesa on his right side. And he semi-give it to him, but he semi-tried to get it in the net as well. I mean, there was neither one nor the other. It wasn't a pass to Chiesa, and it wasn't inside that far post.
Well, in fairness to Karambur, it was a tremendous break from midfield, one which typifies his approach to the game. He does make these lightning surges through, and he was clear of defenders then. And for the first time, really, Juventus defensively were unhinged. Paulo Sousa making no progress now, thanks to the tackle from Mihailovic. Up goes Bellucci, up goes the flag, right on cue as Chiesa looked across ruefully towards the linesman, but he was offside. There's no argument about it. They've just got to read the offside trap a little better. Meantime, just tell you that Parma have taken the lead in the other big match of the day against Lazio, and that's the Colombian international Asprilla, who seems to be back in favour now. And Vicenza rather, have equalised away to Rome. It's now 1-1. Viviani has got the goal for Vicenza. Chiesa, more danger for Juventus, and a goal! Oh, an astonishing strike then by Chiesa. Well, Lippi can't believe it, and I think anybody can. The angle looked impossible.
Yeah. I mean, when we first saw it, I thought, oh, he's sticking a cross in for Karambur. But no, he's had a shot, and somehow he squeezed it in to that near post. Peruzzi definitely got a hand to it, but seemed to palm his into the goal. I suppose he'd broken the offside trap down. He was up there virtually by himself, so he just took a dig from the corner of the box.
Well, Peruzzi got his hands to it, but couldn't keep it out. It's tipped over him and arched into the corner. The goal 4 minutes from half-time. Enrico Chiesa, the man, remember, who scored a hat-trick last week, and now he has stunned the champions with the opening goal of this game. And that, Don, without question, a goal to savour.
Well, we might look at the goalkeeper, but you've got to give the player credit. I mean, he's broken the offside trap down, and he's hit a super shot from the corner of the box.
Paulo Sousa with the free kick.
The thing about the shot as well, Peter, was that he's hit it. You know, he's hit it with a lot of power, but it has got that little bit of dip on it as well. It's going to come down, and I think that's why Peruzzi had the problem.
Well, it's really brought this game to life now, and I think they're going to be in for a cracking second half. Karambur, who had that excellent chance a few minutes before the goal from Chiesa, the new young hero of Sampdoria. Mihailovic, off the boot of Ferrara. Well, Peruzzi here is one of the best goalkeepers in the business, but he could do nothing there to deny Chiesa a fabulous goal. 2 minutes to half-time. Ravanelli for Juventus. Now Delivio. Laid off by Vialli to Ravanelli. Paulo Sousa. I think we're going to see a fresh urgency now about Juve's play. Deschamps, Del Piero, trying to flick it on to Torricelli, but Ferry is there. Such a resolute defender, Ricardo Ferry. And here's the goal again. And it certainly took Peruzzi by surprise.
I mean, he's palmed it in the air and it's gone in the back of him, but I still think even if he hadn't touched it, it would have gone inside that far post.
That's Bellucci, and there's nobody in the middle with a Sampdoria shirt on. Delivio.
Peter, it's that type of game. It was going to be one of those kind of goals.
Paulo Sousa to find Ravanelli. Paulo Sousa taking over. The Sampdoria working so hard to break it all down. Now he's onside here this time, Chiesa. Is he going to go it alone again? It's away by Torricelli. Bellucci. Cut out by Ferrara. So Juve escaped this time. Thanks to that spectacular clearance by Torricelli.
Well, he did make one of those flat runs wide. He ran out to the left wing, Chiesa, and the ball went in nice and early. The only thing about it is he's done well, but his team can't catch him up. He wants to play it square, he wants to get someone in, but the rest of his team just can't get up to him.
Delivio. But the cross was a very tame one from the Italian international. Juve have had a lot of possession in the first half, but they haven't really looked that dangerous. To the relief, I'm sure, of Sven-Goran Eriksson, the coach of Sampdoria, whose team lead here now, and we're almost at the end of the first period. Inter have now equalised away to Padova. That's a goal from Maurizio Gantz, who's in good form at the moment. Padova 1, Inter 1. Vialli's touch. Couldn't release Paulo Sousa though. Now Invernizzi for Sampdoria. Off goes Chiesa. It's Bellucci scrapping away these two diminutive front players for Sampdoria. Invernizzi. Valeri. And Peruzzi not to be called out this time. Mihailovic. Torricelli away. But there is the half-time whistle. And the goal 4 minutes from the break, scored by Chiesa, then divides the two teams. In fairness, not a great deal had happened, certainly in the penalty boxes until then. It was a tremendous strike by Chiesa, which Peruzzi could only palm over him and into the net. Don Howe, your thoughts looking back on the first half?
Yeah, well, I suppose 10 out of 10 for effort and challenge and fight. And
it's only just started. Here's Invernizzi. It goes Karambur. And Peruzzi very sharply out of his 6-yard box. My word, he's quick off the mark, Karambur.
Yeah, and he's just coming from the back of Chiesa. He just sits deep of Chiesa, and he's making those runs to break that offside trap from that position.
Vialli, crowded out though. This is Ferry. But as ever, his persistence never wavers, Vialli. But it was a sudden counter-attack then from Juventus that almost called out Sampdoria.
That was definitely a foul on Vialli by Ferry. Ferry knocked the ball into Vialli, and it went for Vialli, and he was going to go along that byline.
Well, Lippi, I'm sure, has had some strong words to say at half-time. His team really didn't function in that first 45 minutes. Certainly not as an attacking unit, and it isn't a very adventurous team they've named today, as we were saying earlier on. So they'll be seeking reward in the second half, but Pagotto managing somehow to get it away, albeit in unorthodox fashion. Del Piero taking the throw quickly. This is Ravanelli. Well, Vialli was in the middle, so was Conte, but to the dismay of Lippi, puffing away on his cigars down there on the sidelines, it was a wasted cross by Ravanelli.
I think at half-time there, Peter, I don't think there'd be much criticism of their effort. I mean, they were all chasing around here, there and everywhere. It was just this composure to play the game the way it should be played, that is to pass the ball. You know, they were quite happy just to knock it forward somewhere around Vialli, around Ravanelli. You know, and then, having got into that way of playing, then they were making some silly tackles. I mean, Torricelli kind of was playing on the left side of defence there. I mean, how he never got into the book, I don't know.
And it did all seem rather cramped in midfield. Here's Carrera. Ferri. Free kick to Sampdoria. Benega, that wonderful old Italian player, looking on to the back of the stand there. And at the moment, Juve could do with his style of finishing at the moment. They do need to provide the right service for Ravanelli and Vialli up front, supported of course by Del Piero. Bellucci taking the throw. Crossed in by Bellucci. Paulo Sousa missed his header. In Vonizzi. Off goes Karambur. Just a hint he might have got there first, but the flag was up for offside anyway.
They are borderline cases, those offsides. I mean, you can't get away with that. I mean, linesmen are not that good. Every now and again they'll let one go. Not intentionally, it's just how they read it, because they ball watch linesmen, Peter, and they can't watch the ball and the front players who are making flat runs.
Torricelli. Chiesa, the man whose goal separates the teams, and it's now by 2. Superb finish by Chiesa. 5 goals in 2 games. The goal on 52 minutes, and it was taken so well by Chiesa.
Yeah, well, they've got him one-on-one in the box, and he's got the ability to go past that last defender. Here he is, he's kidding as though he's going to go wide on his right foot, comes inside on his left foot, and beats the keeper inside his near post. You would look, see, the defender thinks he's going to check out and go wide there. Comes inside him, and lets fly with his left foot. And obviously, as he comes inside, it opens the goals for him.
That's a great finish, John. There's not all that much to aim at there in that far corner, and he's planted it beyond Peruzzi. Enrico Chiesa, the hero of Sampdoria, and Sven-Goran Eriksson's team now lead by 2 goals to 0. What a test here for the champions of Italy. Now we've got a game on. Mihailovic. Ezarezi.
And they've also made a tactical change at the back, Juventus. Torricelli, who played left back in the first half, has now gone over to that right side. De Livio's come over here to the left side.
That was Ferraro's mistake. Paulo Sousa. Well read by Pezzaresi. He's off after this one. Peruzzi once again having to come racing out of his goal. And he's hurt himself in the process. Pezzaresi, who confronted him. But a real zest and eagerness now about Sampdoria. And they have a real chance of upsetting the champions this afternoon.
Yeah, he's done ever so well there, Peruzzi. He's got them out of trouble again. And they're so open through the middle. Juventus.
Deschamps. They really can't afford to lose this one this afternoon, Juventus. Milan, remember, playing tonight at home to Napoli, so they could extend their lead, which stands at 6 points before the weekend matches. Milan beginning to threaten a stranglehold on Serie A, although Parma are 4 points behind. And they're now leading 2-0. Zola has got a second one for them at home to Lazio. Del Piero. Ravanelli. This is Karambur. He's such a talent, isn't he, Karambur? And he embarrassed Juventus once more. It's the old give and go there, Don.
Yeah, well, obviously it's encouraging to run to the back of that Juventus defence. There's space there. And the lad looks very, very fit, and he looks as though he enjoys the physical part of the game, the athletic part, the running side of things.
He turned down the chance of moving to Paris Saint-Germain to join Sampdoria, Karambur. And of course, as I was saying earlier on, he could have played in the Champions League with Nantes. Good save by Peruzzi. Just keeping out the free kick from Mihailovic. Well, Lombardo not finding too much to smile about down on the bench. His former club certainly had the edge at this stage, and that would have sneaked in the corner.
That was a great free kick. I mean, he was a good, I think, 35 yards away from the goal.
Mihailovic with the corner. That's Ferry dancing along the goal line. Karambur in there too. And I think that came off Vialli on the near post. Untidy clearance from Carrera. And no question, Don, Juventus are in trouble.
Yes, they are. They can't get it right at the back. I mean, it's not only they're getting the offsides wrong half the time, but they're not defending either. They're not picking up players.
That's a corner forced by Bellucci. And the signal for Vialli to come trotting back to defend. The initiative remains with Sampdoria, the home side, leading by 2-0, both scored by Enrico Chiesa. Mihailovic with the corner, and this time it's gone behind for a goal kick to Juventus. But he's been a success in this defensive role again today, Mihailovic, and remains such a threat too on the set pieces.
Yeah, well, they tried him in that left-back position all last season. They never really did it. But it looks as though he's taken to this centre of defence position quite well. And when he gets it, he's a good user of the ball. He can pass the ball.
Yes, he always seemed to have to play within himself in the left-back position, but now a lot more licence to get involved. Little altercation then, Vialli and Ferry. Two men who've had many a battle down the years with their current and former clubs. Both, of course, former Italian internationals. It's been 3 years now since Vialli has played for the Italian team, despite his success with Juventus. Del Piero, very much a first choice now under Arrigo Sacchi for the Italian team. Deschamps, down by Ravanelli, but he hasn't linked up with Del Piero. Off goes Karambur, on the break now. Wide of him is Belleri, he's onside this time. Karambur has continued his run into the middle. Ferrara with the saving header. And they had defenders back then, Juventus. Here's Delivio, operating down the left side with Torricelli on the right. Paulo Sousa. Now Conte. The onus is on Juventus to take the game to Sampdoria now. Conte. Interesting from Torricelli. You call that a swinger, I think, Don?
Yeah, well, it's not his side, is it? That right side. He's not right-footed, he's left-footed. And he likes playing on the left side of defence. Obviously, Marcello Lippi, he's done it for a reason.
Paulo Sousa. Del Piero. Deschamps. Now Conte. Here's Ravanelli. The linesman waving them on. Ravanelli, who's hardly had a sight of goal so far this afternoon. That's Delivio with a header. Hooked away by Ferry. Only as far as Ravanelli. His first touch wasn't a good one. In goes Paulo Sousa. But that'll be a free kick for the foul on Karambeu.
You see how far Karambeu goes deep, Peter. He's not staying up there to be picked up by the markers. He's coming deep, virtually into the Sampdoria midfield, and then he's breaking from there when he's free.
Delivio. This is Del Piero. Now Paulo Sousa. Torricelli with a through pass. Vialli, though, couldn't quite control it, to the delight of his old fans of Sampdoria. There's Ravanelli with the cross. Torricelli. Ferrara. Off goes Conte. Good policing though by Pezzaresi.
They're coming a little bit, Juventus, and obviously you can't write them off. They've got too many good players in the side to write off Juventus.
Here's another one coming on, Jugovic, the former Sampdoria man, who's had to battle back from a hamstring problem. Indeed, all three of the ex-Sampdoria men who moved to Juventus have had problems of one sort or another. Sampdoria going to make a switch as well. That's Conte who's coming off then, to be replaced by Jugovic. He's been a sub in 2 of the last 3 in Serie A now. So Ferry has gone off, and La Monica, a young defender, is on.
It's an interesting change that Sampdoria have done with... I can understand the Jugovic Conte, it's 1 for 1, but the other one, I mean, I don't know whether it's Ferry's getting caught up with Vialli and Ravanelli, and Eriksson thinks that you know, he might be a problem if he leaves him on.
Good battling by Invonizzi. Evani. By Pezzaresi. Karambeu. And for once his touch has deserted him. Deschamps, look at Karambeu though, chasing back. Plays with so much enthusiasm, so much industry. An eye to his undoubted class. Jugovic. Down goes Ravanelli. The referee quite rightly unconvinced. Torricelli. Now Vialli. It was a chance. Brilliantly saved too by Pagotto as Vialli furiously punches the ball away. But I think he'll have a word of praise too. I thought so, sportingly, for the young goalkeeper.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man. But I mean, he was just waiting for the bounce there, Vialli, and it bounced right, and it was on an acute angle. And Pagotto made a good save because he really whacked it.
The corner hasn't been cleared. Paulo Sousa, and Pagotto did well to hold on there. Look how close Vialli and Ravanelli were. If that had squirmed away from him, it surely would have been a goal. Paulo Sousa with a shot saved by Pagotto.
Yeah, because that shot would come through the legs. That's the one from the acute angle from Vialli. Brilliant save, because there was a lot of power in that shot. But that one from the edge of the box after the corner, I mean, that would come through bodies and come through legs. He did ever so well to hang on to it.
That's Paulo Sousa. That's Mihailovic. Karambur. Torricelli to Vialli. Paulo Sousa. Here's Delivio. Paulo Sousa threading it through for Vialli. But again, all breaks down too easily from Juve's point of view. Pesaresi. Good interception by Ferrara. Vialli. Paulo Sousa. Was he tripped then? The referee has blown for the foul.
Well, the tackles are going in still thick and fast. I mean, both sides. The defenders are really trying to get onto that ball. And obviously half the time they're going for balls that are not there to win.
Mihailovic just swinging out there at Paulo Sousa. Now will it be Ravanelli, Del Piero? Both lethal from this kind of distance. Ravanelli with power. And it is Ravanelli, and it's just past the post. I was going to say Del Piero with subtlety, but it was Ravanelli.
Yeah, well, the idea there, Del Piero was trying to move the goalkeeper away from his space, as though he was going to take the kick with his right foot. And then Ravanelli just come up and trying to whack it into the goalkeeper's space, just inside that far post. Just a little bit off target.
Ivani, beaten though by Jugovic and Paulo Sousa between them. Then some niggling from Invonizzi. That's Delivio with a through pass to Ravanelli. Jugovic. I think that might have taken a deflection then. Mihailovic certainly wasn't sure, so he's whacked it away. Eriksson's team still very much in command by the scoreline anyway. Juventus having to raise their game in the second half, but so far without any real effect. Touch back by Deschamps to Ferrara. That's Ravanelli. He's got support from Vialli. Valeri, the tackle from Vialli. It's just a throw.
Yeah, the crowd was shouting, but that was a pretty good tackle from Vialli. Got his foot on the ball.
The decision going Sampdoria's way, as is the match then so far, thanks to the double strike from Chiesa.
It's been a frustrating game for Vialli. Obviously coming back to Genoa, coming back to Sampdoria, he'd have wanted to play well and he'd love to get a goal, but he can't really get himself into the game.
Torricelli, he's giving it away though, rather carelessly. That's Bellucci, off goes Belleri. Again the Juve goal is under threat, and what a pity from Belleri's point of view, he couldn't finish it off. Such a strong run here.
Yeah, it's a great break. But Torricelli, who's come back onto this in this left back spot, chased him all the way, put him under pressure.
The tackle from La Monica on Del Piero, which has been punished. The defender has been.
More subs, I think, Peter.
Yes, Eriksson preparing to make another change. Another of his youngsters, Jacopina. This is Del Piero. And well claimed again by the goalkeeper. Kept his eye on it. And he looks, in general, Don, pretty safe on crosses, isn't he?
He's having a decent game. For a young lad who's he had to be brought into the side. All right, he's got the experience of playing at under 21 international level. But that's a little bit different than playing in a game of this pace and calibre.
Vialli challenging, but Mihailovic able to clear. And that will be the signal for the substitution, I would think. Vincenzo Jacopino, who made his Serie A debut as a substitute in the last home game against Udinese. He's coming on, 19 years old. Chiesa being replaced. Getting a thunderous round of applause too from the home fans. I think it looks as if they're settling for the 2-goal lead, Don.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised because obviously Juventus have got to keep chasing the game, and they will leave themselves open to the back. And if you leave Chiesa with one defender, he'll go past him, he'll get a shot in. So I'm a bit surprised they've taken him off.
Well, maybe there's an injury that we haven't spotted there. Jacopino does play up front, so he has swapped a striker for a striker. And I would have thought he was the last man you'd take off. Here's Carrera. Deschamps. 20 minutes to go. 20 minutes for Juve to save the game. Invernizzi to Karambur. Really has been a revelation in this game, Karambur. And he's in the middle now, but Peruzzi has made the save and held on too. As the shot came in from the young substitute Jacopino. Sorry, Don.
The thing about that Karambur, he hates running, doesn't he? I mean, every time you see him, he's back in his own half. And then all of a sudden he's in the opponent's box. Then he's back in his own half and he's challenged someone or trying to get the ball off one of the Juventus players.
And there he is up front again. He really has amazing energy.
Super fitness.
And his only regret so far will be that he hasn't crowned his display with a goal that he should have had towards half-time. Mihailovic. Karambur. Valeri to Bellucci. That's good technique. Also good closing down from Torricelli. Ferrara. Foul by Jacopino. Padovano going through his paces down on the sidelines. Del Piero. Wasn't really a confident pass there. Wasn't played with any conviction by Del Piero, who hasn't really made his mark in this game. Off goes Pezzaresi. And that was a rather crude block by Ferrara, who was cautioned earlier on. Well, he's claiming that Pezzaresi made a mill of it, but certainly to my mind, that's obstruction.
Yeah, blatant obstruction. And he sent him the wrong way, and he's checked to come inside, then he's gone back outside.
The referee has taken no further action other than to award the free kick.
I think a few of those players on this pitch have been very lucky today. They've got a referee with a little bit of patience and a little bit of understanding.
Mihailovic taking charge of the situation with Bellucci alongside him. Karambur also lurking in the middle. And Jacopino. There is Mihailovic. It spins away and clutched out of the air by Peruzzi.
I'll tell you something about that free kick, Peter. If that was direct, and I'm sure the referee didn't have his arm up to say it was indirect, that was a penalty, because I thought it was just inside the box.
I was going to say, he gave the kick outside, but surely the offence was inside that 18-yard area. All rather mystifying. That's Paulo Sousa. Good covering, though, by Mihailovic. I think he's found a niche for himself now, Mihailovic, in this defensive position. Delivio. Jugovic with the cross. Pagotto unnerved.
No problem. 12 yards out he came for that one.
Pezzaresi. This is Delivio. Now Jugovic. Off the foot of Paulo Sousa to Ferrara. Juventus, remember, completed the double over Sampdoria last season thanks to Vialli's cracking goal. That was a wasted chance for Juve. Spinning wide from Jugovic.
Yeah, well, he got himself in a decent position. The ball got played into Vialli, and he took it wide to the right flank. Then he got it back to Jugovic. You've got to hit the target from that position.
Juve have won 3 of the last 4 now against Sampdoria, but really up against it this afternoon, trailing by 2 goals to 0. Paulo Sousa on for Vialli. That's Sacchetti with the clearance. And there's more danger now. Jacopino. Is he going to make a name for himself? Good save by Peruzzi. Just stood his ground then, gave him little to aim at, and the young man couldn't accept his opportunity, and a golden one it was too. Well, that surely would have ended it as a contest.
It would definitely have ended it as a contest if Chiesa would have been in that position, because I think it had gone round the keeper.
Jugovic, Ravanelli, now Paulo Sousa. And Vialli just turned away in disgust. Padovano now, I think, is about to come on. Remember, they also have Lombardo on the bench, but there's no sign of him making an entrance against his old club. Torricelli with Bellucci, now Deschamps. Sampdoria, of course, sprang a major surprise when they beat Parma earlier in the season, and they look like another one might be in the offing now. Look like springing another one. So here's Padovano, but he can't get on the field as yet. Didier Deschamps. Now Vialli's pass has gone astray. Sacchetti. Pesaresi. There are 15 minutes to go. Jugovic. Vialli. Mihailovic again. Great roar from the Sampdoria fans who are relishing his individual performance today. Del Piero. By his standards, fairly subdued.
Yeah, well, I would have thought by now that they'd moved him into the centre, where he can play, where he's got the ability.
Not now, they're not. He's coming off.
He just couldn't get himself in the game on this left flank. I don't know why. Perhaps if he'd have moved in the middle and played behind Ravanelli and Vialli, just played in that hole behind them, perhaps he'd have got himself into the game a lot more. I mean, he's got wonderful skills. To waste him wide on the left flank, well, I don't think that's the best way of getting his skills to show themselves.
So Padovano is on, the one Turin-born player in the Juve squad. Ravanelli failing though to combine with Gianluca Vialli.
Peter, they've looked ragged today, Juventus. You know, they don't look like a champions. You know that. You know, it's all kind of reckless tackles, reckless passing, going at 100 miles an hour, trying to play at a pace that really virtually no one would be capable of. No service up to the front players. The front players getting frustrated. I mean, Vialli's getting frustrated. Ravanello's getting frustrated. Forever onto the referee, not really getting any shots in. I mean, it's just one of those days for Juventus.
And it's one of those days, just to interrupt there, Don, just quickly to tell you, one of those days for Bari. They're 7-1 down now away to Cremonese as Mihailovic is helped off here. So that's a baptism of fire for their new coach, Fascetti. 7-1 down. Cremonese 5-1 up at half-time. Tentoni has got one in the second half, and another one for Perovic. In time, this is Jacopino, but he's offside. Delivio. And Sampdoria can certainly take great heart from their display this afternoon. They've had so many readjustments to make, not only with new signings but also the loss of players through injuries and suspension. So it is the start of a new era for them, really. Many of the old guard have gone, but they have some exciting new players in the squad, including this young man, Pagotto.
I thought it was very brave what they did in the summer. I mean, they let a lot of the old stalwarts go. Viekovod, Lombardo, Jugovic. You know, and obviously they were open to criticism, but the new signings and the new young players are definitely coming through.
This is Padovano.
And at that time in the summer, they didn't realise that they would lose Zenga. I mean, he injured himself pre-season, and this young lad's come in, Pagotto, the lad on the ball now, and he really has played his part. In fact, you would say that Zenga's got a problem now of trying to get back into the team.
Just 10 minutes remaining. Bellucci's header, then Torricelli for Juventus. Torricelli, Deschamps. Torricelli had Padovano away to his left, but his run was curtailed by Karambeur and his boundless enthusiasm. Deschamps. Now Padovano down this left corridor again. Played in towards Vialli. Bellucci. Padovano went quickly. They're a bit slack then. Sampdoria. Ravanelli. Almost went down in the box. Delivio. How can he supply the cross here? Well, it's not a good one. And Vialli left a very frustrated figure in the middle. Certainly isn't appreciating some of the service that he's had this afternoon. Paulo Sousa to Deschamps. Paulo Sousa with a through ball. Ravanelli was on his way back.
There does look a terrific spirit also amongst the Sampdoria players. I mean, they'll chase anything. I mean, as soon as they lose the ball, when they're getting back behind the ball, they're closing down the ball. Front players are challenging defenders.
Paulo Sousa with the free kick for Juventus. Valeri wanting more cover in front of him around Vialli. Pagotto didn't really get hold of it. Vialli with a snapshot, and it's cleared away. The danger snuffed out.
Yeah, he was reaching for that one and he never really got there, did he? Just got a hand to it but knocked it down. He could have been punished there.
He saved from Ferrara, and then Vialli couldn't get hold of his shot. Paulo Sousa. But we could be in for quite a finish if Juve can get a goal here now. Delivio planting over yet another cross. Vialli couldn't get to it. Desperate defending by Sampdoria. Carrera to Jugovic. That's Ferrara's chip. This is Ravanelli. Cleared away.
Well, it was a good volley, and it was definitely going into the net, Peter.
Yeah. LaMonica did very well then to clear almost off his own goal line. The young defender who's come on as a substitute. Still Vialli can't get his head to the ball. Deschamps. Juve now captain the Sampdoria half. Delivio with the cross. That was Ferrara. Frantically cleared again by Sampdoria. There's nobody upfield for them. Here's Torricelli. It's all one way at this stage now. Foul by Karambeur on Deschamps. Here's Torricelli. Tremendous focal support for the home side. Karambeur was almost on his way then. Deschamps to Paulo Sousa. Sampdoria survive and launch now the counter-attack. Bellucci. That's Torricelli in with a tackle. But surely now Lippi's team have left it too late.
Yeah, they've got too much to do. I mean, you would never write them off with the quality players like Ravanelli and Vialli, but they've left themselves too much to do. And what a conversion that player there, Mihailovic. I mean, in the centre of defence, he really does look very, very good.
That's Padovano with the cross. Dealt with, though, smoothly by Pagotto. Well, Lombardo hoping he would get his chance today, but maybe not now. Off Torricelli to Paulo Sousa. Delivio prodded on towards Ravanelli. That's Padovano's header. Coolly away though by Mihailovic. Baleri. This is Torricelli. There are 5 minutes remaining. Ravanelli for Juventus. Delivio. And once again, easy enough for the goalkeeper. Well, Lombardo, Juve will be hoping can supply better crosses once he's in the team. Just remains to be seen when he's going to get his opportunity. Karambur. Ever threatening. That's Carrera away. Deschamps. Now Padovano. Mihailovic has played superbly at the back. And then embarrassing Vialli. Karambur. Jacopino. Ivani, who's toiled away in the midfield alongside Invernizzi, 2 experienced old campaigners. Ferrara bringing Juventus forward yet again. Didier Deschamps. Invernizzi. Now Bellucci. Offside against Baleri. It was tight.
Yes, it was very close. If he could have just held himself just that little bit, just leave the space there, stay in line with those last defenders. You can see a lot of the Juventus side there doing stretching. That obviously 1 or 2 have got cramp. They've had a busy week this week, obviously, with the European Champions Cup.
Well, that's Bellucci going off. And on comes Di Tolizzi, another 19-year-old, a local boy. He's a midfield player. He hasn't got too long to have his chance to shine, but he'll be relishing the opportunity to be out there now in what Sampdoria will regard as a famous victory if they can go on from here. Jacopino. Karambur making that surge into the middle yet again. Jacopino. I think Karambur was offside.
I don't know what he was doing there. He was miles.
He's so quick you can't keep up with him. Lombardo stretching, but I don't think he's going to stretch his legs out on the field now. Paulo Sousa. Time rapidly running out for the champions, who look to be heading now for their 4th defeat in Serie A this season. With, remember, Milan the leaders to play tonight. Parma, they're up against Lazio. So Juve are beginning now to leave themselves with a lot to do if they're to close the gap on Milan and the others.
A lot of people have been saying that they've got their sights on that European Cup this year, Juventus, Peter, and it could be that. You know, I think they'd love to win that European Cup once more. I think they're the bookmakers' favourites to win the European Cup, and when you think that Ajax are still there, it's quite surprising.
Torricelli. This is Carrera. Now Ferrara. And again, Vialli, they're looking very disenchanted through the middle. It's not an afternoon he's going to look back on with too much relish. Here he is now. Still he can't get through against these very competitive, committed Sampdoria defenders. Offside against Jacopino. The Sampdoria won't worry about that now as we head towards injury time. Parma have fallen here, and it looks as if Juventus are going the same way. Delivio. Now Ferrara. And the real hero no longer on the field. Chiesa with the 2 goals for Sampdoria. But there's another hero in Mihailovic, absolutely outstanding at the back. Delivio away from Karambur. This is Paulo Sousa. Still Juventus persevering, hoping that something will come their way. But here's Mihailovic, and he's even kept it in. Ivani. Jacopino to Karambur. I think we're going to see and hear a lot more about Karambur in Serie A this season. Paulo Sousa for Deschamps. Padovano scuffed his shot though. And having said that, it might have fallen fortuitously into the path of Ravanelli. Relief for Eriksson down on the bench, and further disappointment for Padovano and Juventus.
Well, obviously Eriksson, I mean, he's watching there. He's pleased with his team's performance. The thing about it is that he's so confident about these kids. I mean, normally Italian clubs, they're all well known for going out and buying world-class players from all over the world. All of a sudden they're doing an Ajax. They're putting these kids in all over the place in Sampdoria. It's got to be good for the game, and he's got so much confidence to introduce them into the game.
This will be Sampdoria's 4th home win of the season. They've lost only once in the Luigi Ferrara Stadium, and they have proved this afternoon too strong for the champions Juventus. Valeri. In goes Karambur. Denied though by Paulo Sousa. Padovano. Paulo Sousa again. This is Deschamps. Paulo Sousa taking the throw quickly. Put away by La Monica. 22-year-old who was out on loan last season with a 3rd division team. So they are indeed blooding a lot of youngsters so far in this campaign, Sampdoria. A lot of it forced on them, admittedly. But they can be well pleased with the way this game has gone for them. The final whistle blown by referee Boggi to signal an excellent result for Sampdoria. Karambur outstanding in midfield. Chiesa with both the goals. He was substituted later on, but certainly they will look back on this game with a lot of pride, Don Howe. Sampdoria, Juventus, very much second best today.
Well, I mean, it's a great win for them. I mean, it's been a special day there for Eriksson, the coach of Sampdoria. Lippi will be disappointed. I don't know whether they've really got their mind on the league this year, or whether that European Cup is really pulling their attention. He doesn't look too worried. I mean, his side hasn't played well today. I mean, it was a ragged performance by Juventus in terms of passing, in terms of tackling.
OK, well, let's look back on the highlights of the game. Not all that many chances in the first half, but here was one that fell to Pestaresi.
A lovely little 1-2 with Karambur. Well, you don't miss the target from there, really.
We were looking for an offside flag, but there wasn't one. Here was a tremendous run then by Karambur. He was through here, Don.
I think he couldn't make his mind up. He wanted to go inside that far post. Then he jabs it somewhere, hopefully, across the 6-yard box, hoping Chiesa gets on the ball. Look, he thinks he can get it inside that right side.
Well, credit there to Peruzzi, the goalkeeper, who certainly spread himself well. But he will obviously feel he should have done better there, Karambur. Well, here's the first goal. What a strike by Chiesa.
The #1 movies album. 38 blockbusting hits on one great value double album. The #1 movies album. Out now.
I'm going to tell you how it's going to be. With Scotch cassettes and Kuoni. Every year, win a holiday. If you re-record, not fade away. Re-record, not fade away. Re-record, not fade away. Re-record, not fade away.
Win a holiday every year for life with Scotch Cassettes.
Question: what's the most fun you can have with a video this Christmas? Batman Forever on video, the ultimate